For now.
For now. Yes, we got it.
You know what? I didn't.
I'm glad you brought me in here to take care of your technical problems.
I gotta put the. You got something to open the show with?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta print out my cheat sheet.
It's mad at us today. Is that what you're saying?
It's like it knows it's the end of the year.
Right.
Okay. Here we go.
Yep.
I'm gonna use this as a scratch paper.
I'm going to use this as a nose picker.
Well, that's good. Here we go. Am I connected at all? Yeah, I'm connected. No, it's not connecting. Here we go.
Right.
And now for something special. The unit is self-contained with its own saddler, farrier, wheelwright and so on. It's a rigorous training dished out who know all there is to know about horses, and it brings results.
We take you behind the scenes now to show just some of the interesting aspects of this training.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, the award-winning #1 podcast to create sounder horses from the ground up. Mike Stine is a registered journeyman farrier with an APF1 accreditation. On this week's show, Talking Terminology, we're going to talk about radiolucent. And also, if you're not on YouTube, jump on over right now because we have some x-rays of a deformed hoof and also the pros and cons of barefoot versus shoes. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. And over to my far hand side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing okay, Travis. How are you today?
Well, I'm a little stressed out.
You are a little stressed out. Am I causing you stress?
No. It seems, it seems like the whole computer system, the whole podcast setup that we have here knows it's going to be the end of the year. Like it's still on vacation.
Do you need me to go through your computer system and straighten stuff out?
That's what I exactly need you to do, Mike.
Yeah.
I've got my printers not talking to the computer. The computer's not talking to the live stream phone and all this other stuff that's going on. So I think I've got it under control right now.
If it gets too bad, I can go out to the truck and grab my computer hammer.
Is that the Windows 98 that you've got out there?
Well, you won't need any windows when I'm done with it.
So, welcome to the show. We appreciate you guys listening to us and doing all the stuff that connects us to you and you to us as well. And Mike, what have you been doing? What? Give us an update on what you did. We just came out of Christmas.
We did.
And how much coal did you get?
Well, all my customers brought me a lump of coal. So
you got enough to survive the winter?
Yeah, I can run the coal forge for a while.
Well, good.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Anything exciting happen?
The last couple of days, I've been fixing flat tires a bit.
What do you mean fixing flat tires?
Well, I had a young lady call me who could not get a hold of her farrier, who the horse had ripped a shoe off and was tiptoeing around. And
so when you say flat tires, I was thinking metaphorically you were fixing horses' shoes or actual cars, tires on cars?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a combo that you do.
Yes. So whenever they're kind of clean things up.
Mike's fix a flat and flat fix.
Yes, exactly. And, talked to her a little bit and told her she had soaked it. It was a little better. And
you talking about the horse's foot,
The horse's foot.
I'm trying to get back on track here.
And then I put a little poultice on it, and she was up in the neighborhood. So I said, have a good day, and went on down the road. And then, the truck was handled a little funny, right?
Your truck?
My truck.
Okay.
So there was a screw in a tire.
Okay.
And there was a lot of air not in the tire that used to be in the tire.
So was it like listing or pulling to one side as you
was not handling correctly, yes.
Okay.
And so I got off in a good spot. And
now those treads on those tires are thick. I mean, you got those big...
Those 14 plies, yeah.
Yeah, 14 plies. You could drive a friggin' railroad spike through those things. And
there was a screw long enough to penetrate. And anyway, found that. Got it out. Did exactly what you're not supposed to do. Plugged it. And
now, why aren't you supposed to plug a tire?
I've had people tell me that you should never put plugs in them.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the perfect way to patch it, but
no one patches anymore.
No, and got me out of a pinch and grabbed the air compressor out of the back of the cab. This beside the impact wrench. This beside the toolbox. This beside the jumper cables. This beside the jumper pack.
And last week's lunch.
And last week's lunch. Actually, that lunch was from 2 weeks ago. And then I dug back and I found last week's lunch. So got that patched up. And after that, I took care of another automotive problem.
Oh, God. Santa was not good to you this year, was he not?
No. I helped a professional.
Oh, did you?
I did.
What'd you do?
Apparently, my mechanic, he's doing some work.
And what's his name again?
Nick.
I almost called him Rick, but
You call him whatever, he'll answer.
Late for dinner.
Don't call him late for dinner. He'll get upset about that. But when they get new cars in, they go through the new cars, and apparently they let all the air out of the tires, and they put nitrogen in the tires, or shipped with plain air in the tires when they're new at the dealership. And they give them a little test run. And he went out to take the test run and fired it up, and the car went doop, 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 and all the dash lights came in. He said the crankcase light came on, the oil light came on, everything came on. He thought, and then they said, the car's not running. So
now this is a car he's test driving.
Test drive, brand new car.
Okay.
And I did give him a diagnosis on it.
What was it?
Ain't got no gas in it. And guess what? It didn't have any gas.
So it came from overseas with no gas in it.
Right.
Well, they got to run it a little bit to get it out of the warehouse,
right.
Don't they?
Right. They do get it loaded up and all that. But apparently there was about a spit of gas in the tank, enough to crank it up and get it started moving.
And get it off the trailer.
But I had to, it's like, remember Carl Childers on Sling Blade?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this? Ain't got no gas in it.
Well, there you go. So
I can do some car repair diagnostics too.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. That's all I got.
Sure.
I thought that was kind of funny when found out.
One more show left in this season.
The mechanic was pulling out of stuff to plug in. It didn't have any gas in it.
Oh, Jesus. One more show left in season 14. So hopefully we'll limp across the finish line here shortly. But
we'll have some gas in it.
Yeah. Well, if you're not on YouTube right now, jump on over. For every podcast you do, we do. You can see the full-length podcast over there on YouTube. That's where I was going with that. And you can see us in real time.
YouTube can see it.
Yep, you too can also see it over on YouTube. So go over there right now, search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine. Give him a follow over there as well, and you can see all the shenanigans that happens on and off the camera during the whole entire show. So stick around. We got more to talk about and more to get into. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. I'm going to try this again. Now that I see that it was on for a minute.
When the green light's on, it's on?
Well, it was solid for a minute.
Okay. I was going to say, it's on, it's off. It's on, it's off.
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
It's like checking the blinkers on the car. It works, it doesn't work. It works, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It works, it doesn't work.
Bulbs out, bulbs on. Bulbs on, bulbs on.
Yeah.
Let's see. I forget what it's called. I'll worry about later. Let's continue with the show. Oh, there we are. Hi. I bet you if I turn that camera off, it'll work over there. The printer will work. The price you pay, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. If you would like to join the podcast, you can join the podcast. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us. We broadcast every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us. You can leave a message, comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. We got one show left, Mike. One show left in season 14. Then we're going to take a whole month off. We're going to take some month off.
I'll be so brokenhearted not getting to see you.
I know. Well, we can chat on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're taking a whole month off, and the reason why Mike and I'm going somewhere, Mike's going somewhere, so
everybody's going somewhere.
Instead of just chopping the whole entire season up, we're just going to come back, and February 9th, I think we decided is when we're coming back.
Immediately after the Hoof Care Summit.
Right. So we have one more show after this, so now's a great chance to get caught up on all the shows over there at Equine Dynamics, but you voice can be heard over at equinedynamics.com. Talk right into your microphone. It comes right to our inbox. You can be anonymous if you want. Get all your questions in now, and we'll play them all on Season 15 coming up on February 9th. And over to my far-hand side, my very own seasonal person is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Travis. How are you?
I'm doing okay. My blood pressure's gone down just a little bit now.
I can get it back up there if you want to.
No, I'm fine. I got a long day ahead of me, and this is just the tip of the starting block of the show. So,
well, if you get your blood pressure to up, you know, hey, when your tire pressure too up, you let some air out. We can let some blood out to lower your blood pressure. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure that would be real good. It comes squirting out. So right now we're going to talk terminology. Talking terminology, if you're new to the show, this is a part of the show where once a week we define a term that you might hear, you might not know what it is when you hear it in the barn or anywhere around your horse people. And this week we're talking about radiolucent, Mike.
Radiolucent. What is radiolucent?
Radiolucent killed the radio star is what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. Glad we're not on radio.
Yeah, really.
Now, radiolucent is when you have the X-rays, you have the part that is lighter or whiter, which is radiopaque, and your darker areas are more radiolucent because of the X-ray going through, goes all the way through that part, and if there's nothing there to block it on your digital, it used to be on film, that would come out as a black, and the denser the material is, it will come out white. So radiolucent would be the lighter area on your X-ray, would be the part that would be radiolucent as far as what you were X-raying. And
that's what we were talking about the other week. What was it was
radiopaque, which would be the part that would be more whited out.
All right. So, and on my handy dandy cheat sheet here, it says describing the material that is transparent in X-rays, such as air, soft tissue, and fat, which appears darker or black on images. So are they saying that tissue and fat is going to appear darker, or this definition does not make sense. I'll read it one more time and see where I can catch the mistake here. Radiolucent describes materials that are transparent to X-rays,
right,
such as air, soft tissue, and fat, which appear dark or black on the image. So is that basically saying that it's passed through
Okay,
got it.
It passes through it easier. The part that's white, you get less passing through.
So that would
lighter,
and that would be radiopaque.
And if you have something like a piece of lead up there, it'll be or a nickel or whatever, it'll be completely whited out at that point.
So that would be
or your imaging marking paste.
So that would be radiopaque if it's not passing through. Okay, got it. All right. I think I'm getting the hang of this show here. Only been doing this for 4 years. So, and as far as what's the one where it does the veins?
A venogram.
Okay, so that's a venogram.
And they have a contrast they inject in, and the contrast would be radiopaque.
Okay, and the reason why we're talking about the radio translucent is because we have some X-rays that we're going to play here or show here on the YouTube channel. So jump on over right now. And this was a horse. What was wrong with this horse as far as?
You'll just have to see it.
Okay, well, when we come back, you can see this horse and the feet that are radiopaque.
Right.
No, radio.
Yes,
radiolucent. Sorry.
This is one that came into the vet clinic, and I don't know what the history on it is exactly, but it had been some time since it had seen any regular hoof care of any sort.
All right. Well, we're going to show that right now when we come back from break. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. I know it's a simple thing, but that's going to bother me the whole entire time because I know it's not working. You know what I mean?
Well, you want to put a piece of tape on it?
No. I wish I could turn it off and turn it back on, but I'll mess with it later. I will mess with it later.
Yeah.
Not you. Me. Ready?
Yep.
Are we showing the pictures this time? No. What are we showing?
I think you got...
Oh, because you're talking about the pros and cons of hoof care when we come back.
Right.
Bear shoes.
Yeah, let's do the pros and cons of hoof care.
Not now.
Not now.
No, we're going to do the
right.
The radiographs.
Radiographs.
Okay, here
yes.
we go. Okay.
Am I getting you screwed up?
Yes.
Good.
Stop talking. You're
That's my job.
You're messing me up. Stop talking. Here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. Make sure you follow him over on Facebook, and it's a great follow over there. He posts a lot of different images and pictures and stuff. Mike, this is my professional opinion. The pictures that we show here on the show,
right?
Can you put those on your Facebook page as well? Because we have we always show like radiographs and all that and different photos and stuff. Can you put those?
If I can figure out how to do it.
Okay. I'll show you how to do it, because I know that you do like click and share all different articles that you read and you thought would be interesting for other people on their
so techie.
For other people on your Facebook page to read and stuff like that. So I'll show you how to post these pictures, because a lot of times people don't go to the YouTube channel. People don't go, and watch the video. Right. Shame on you, by the way. But they are friends of yours on Facebook. So we can post these pictures and stuff up on your Facebook page as well. So you can see these in real time as we're talking about them. So join him over on Facebook. That's Equine Dynamics Mike Stine on Facebook. And over to my far hand side, my very own social media influencer is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing good, Travis. How are you doing?
Doing all right. My blood pressure's getting a little lower now.
I'm getting ready to fix that.
Yes, I know.
We want to make sure you have plenty of blood pressure.
Jeez. All right, and so right now we're going to go to the video, the X-rays that we got here.
Was that the first one or the last one?
I don't know.
I think that was the last one.
I think that's the last one too. So let's go to this one. Okay. So I'm going to switch over to camera, I believe 6 here, so we can see this in real time and we can all watch it and all be friends. So here we go.
Right. This is
Oops.
As you can see, this is a...
crap. Hold on. I got too excited. Too excited. All right, here we go. What are we looking at here?
A hoof of a horse.
Okay. Looks a little long in the tooth on the front.
Looks a little long in the tooth. You look at drawing down that front line of the hoof. There's an angle change on that dorsal wall. And you can see the rings, everything else on there. And, the heel's under the center a bit. The pastern's kind of straight up and down. But this was one that came in over at the vet clinic. I don't know what or why as far as the care on it. Mm-hmm. And, older horse. And we did clean the feet up and do the best we could with what we had at the moment. You're not going to get a foot like that dead perfect immediately.
Now,
yes.
not to interrupt you, but I can tell this picture in the back here, that's the back foot, or is that the...
That's not the back foot, that's the other foot.
Okay.
This is the left foot.
Okay, so this is the left foot.
Or am I backwards?
No, you got it.
Yeah, left foot.
And this is the X-ray.
And this is the X-ray of the left hoof. So, when you look at the dorsal wall and you start thinking, of that coffin bone and see it, see what the coffin bone looks like. And you've got a little bit of an opening in the lamina down at the tip of the coffin bone. It's not huge, but this horse has probably not seen a farrier for some time. Got plenty of depth to the foot, but look at that joint trying to subluxate. If it keeps going that way, it's going to not be good.
Now, you say this horse hasn't seen a farrier and for, let's say, moons, right?
Sometime, yes.
But you've got the horses in the same sense. You've got the horses that run wild in the Colorado desert that basically their feet would be kind of fix themselves. How come this horse is not fixing itself?
This horse is not in the Colorado desert or Arizona desert or Nevada desert or any of those places.
So he's just standing in the pasture.
He's standing in pastures, not moving much.
Okay.
And if you drop a line from your visually drop a line center of that joint down, the coffin joint right in, you kind of had it in there pretty close, but there you go, sort of. Anyway, the foot is shot forward out from the bone column, and you got a broken back hoof pastern axis, and then on a horse like this, you've also got to deal with contracted tendons and everything else. When that pastern angle or that hoof pastern axis is kind of standing straight up into between your long pastern and short pastern, but with that coffin bone in that negative position, the other way it can release flexor tendon pressure is for the pastern to straighten out, because that shortens that distance between the where it connects under the coffin bone to the upper, where it connects to the muscle. So the alignment is not where it should be. And
so that's the left foot.
That's the left foot.
All right, now here's the right foot.
And there's your right foot.
Well, let me show you.
Would be
this guy here.
This guy.
So I can tell like the hoof in the front.
And that's what you saw in the picture on the other side.
All his toenails are all scratched off.
All toenails are all scratched off and
Busted up.
toed and all that little. This is the more upright side. Yes, I would call it a little clubby. And you look at the coronary band towards the front where it's kind of swollen out there, and these feet had been bandaged for some time apparently. And kind of rubbed raw and everything else from the bandage.
Is this a raw wound or something back over here?
They had some stuff they had duct taped to the foot, wrapped in duct tape to try to get the horse a little more comfortable. And
then this is the X-ray of that foot.
This is the X-ray of that foot. And there again, we've got some bad. The bony column alignment is not where it should be. And then you got contracted tendons because if you look at that long pastern coming into the short pastern, it's broken back at the short pastern a little bit, and even more at the hoof capsule. And if you line that up with the long pastern, it'd be split the tip of the collar bone pretty close to straight down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost pointing directly down.
It would be very down if you aligned it with that. But there again, the whole hoof is so distorted, and what we did was just clean the feet up as best we could and try to get this guy a little happier without going to anything extreme. And you've got your quote perfect balanced foot, whatever that is, because we don't know. Some days we really don't. We just think we do. But you take this and you try to get the foot under control. And you can't, an old horse like this, you can't just completely change those angles all at one movement because stuff's not going to want to move. But we got to find a place where we can keep this guy happy enough.
Is his leg?
That's kind of blown up? Yeah.
Is it swollen?
Swollen, yeah.
So what causes that? Is it because of
old
this?
Old age,
foot?
arthritis, tendon damage.
Okay. Looks like it got stung by a bee. It's swollen that bad.
Right. Yeah. Older guy. Just older horse, and it's got some strange pressures on tendons and ligaments, and you've got tendons and ligaments that have contracted up. And
so did you know the owners of this horse, or this
No.
is the clinic, or the
no, this came in the vet clinic,
and the clinic asked you to come and look at this horse,
right? And this is another one of those jobs, go over there and work with them on, and we did not put anything on this horse's feet because living conditions. It was going to go home and go back out in this little paddock and hopefully be happy, and hopefully they got somebody to maintain the feet on a regular basis.
Well, that's where I was going. If they've let the horse go this long, let's go back to us now. If we've let the horse go this long,
right,
and then you wait to the absolute 0 hour, hey, this horse is not walking well. Let's go ahead and take it to the vet. Right. And the vet goes, hey, you should have done this 4 years ago, 5 years
Something
ago.
Like that, yeah.
And then they go, well, what can we do now? Well, what you should have done now was 4 years ago. So now you're going to have to spend, I don't know how much money they spent for the vet bill. How much was that? How much is it going to cost for them to come out, or someone like a Mike Stine to come out there and take care of the feet to get the guy happy again? Is that going to be, whatever you charge for every 6 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 80 weeks? What is that bill going to charge? Well, and at what point do they go, hey, he's lived a good life. Let's call it a day on this.
That's between the owner and whoever.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, I mean, I go there to do best I can by that horse at that moment. But on a horse like that, you can't you got to get the foot under control, but you can't drastically change stuff. And
can you? I know you didn't know the owners.
In a perfect world, you would go over there on a very short order and do a very little bit at a time.
And I know you didn't
to see if you can get things to realign. I wouldn't bet on it with that horse.
And you didn't know the owners because you were dealing with the vet's office. Right. Did this information, that whatever you said, was it transferred over to the owners? And
in this vet clinic, everything was transferred.
Okay. So the information was
right.
delegated to
and
them.
And hopefully they found them someone who would come to their property and take care of the horse's feet on a regular enough basis to stay ahead of it.
So why wouldn't they bring you in on it, since you're the one who kind of diagnosed what needs to be done?
I don't know where that horse, home base was for that horse.
Okay.
And for some reason, I think they trucked it in from somewhere, trucked it a ways to get it to the clinic.
Okay.
And I don't think we ever really discussed that.
So again, now here's a horse that's been neglected for, let's say, 4 years. I'm just throwing that number on there. It could have been more, it could have been less.
If I'm recalling correctly, they had somebody that had looked at the horse, and whoever had looked at it kind of went, about his feet.
Yeah.
They brought it to clinic.
And has taken now the time to load up this horse who's probably never been on a trailer or hasn't been on a trailer
For a very long time.
For a very long time, and trailered the horse to a clinic, to a veterinary's office, and say, okay, here's my horse. What do you think? And they go, well, let me call in a professional.
Right.
And then, I'm just hearing that money register, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Sure, we can bring a professional in, and, cha-ching, and then... but it's money
Well, I don't know what the owner's financial situation was, but, I've seen horses like this in bad shape where somebody was trying not to spend money. Mm-hmm. And the feet got out of control on an old horse. They didn't want to put a lot of money into it because it's an older horse. And then it's a huge mess. And then it's like, oh, my God, the horse is in trouble. We got to do something with it. And they end up spending a lot of money and a lot of heartache, where if they had been doing maintenance all along, it probably did not have to end up in that situation.
And it might have been Grandma's horse, and Grandma rode for a while, and then she passed away, and now the kids have got it, and the kids are like going, well, I don't know what to do with it. You take the horse. No, you take the horse. All right, I'll take the horse. And then you just kind of leave it out there, and a horse will be a horse. It's like a dog being a dog,
It's upright. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's eating. It's
all of a sudden one day, we're noticing it hadn't been walking real good.
Yeah, I hate to hear that, and I hate to see that. All right, when we come back, we're going to have a discussion between the debate, the long awaited debate between Barefoot.
We have debated this.
I know,
many times.
Many times. And there's an article that came out in the latest. It was American Farriers Journal that came out?
This was the IPF newsletter.
Okay, so the IPF.
Seth Noble wrote the article.
Okay,
did a very nice job.
So we're going to talk about that article when we come back, as far as barefoot versus shoes. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. For the last week, I have had like this. If you could take a green pea and put it right under my tongue on my throat, there's a little sore right there, like a polyp. Mm-hmm. And when I swallow, it's like, It's not. I thought it would be a sore throat, like strep throat, but it never worked its way around to anything else. It's just sitting right there. Amy goes, those little things. Do you have your tonsils still?
Not anymore.
So, when people have their tonsils, they get those little white things in the back of their throat and they stink. She says I got one that's infected back there.
Well, you could.
I could. Don't tell me that.
We can take a hot poker to it.
Sear it off. All right. News article. Ready?
Yes.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. If you don't want to go on the air, that's fine. You can always email Mike Stine any question that you may have. Go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says contact us. Fill out that little form and make sure you put a physical return address, and we'll send you out some swag. We're going to have our brand new 2026 swag coming up here in the next couple of weeks. And don't forget, we only have one more show left in season 14, and then we'll be off all the way till February 9th. And then we'll be back at it again full-fledged. Mike and I have got some stuff that's going on in the next month or month and a half, I guess. So we're going to delay the show coming back, but that's a great time for you to get back into it and find out all the lost episodes that you might have missed over the last 4 years or so. Right. And over to my far hand side, my very own missing man is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good, Travis. How are you doing?
Doing all right. So you got your, did you have to get a new tire, or are you just going to ride with that plug until it blows, right?
I think she's okay. I went out at 3:30 this morning and checked to make sure the plug was holding.
Do you light it on fire a little bit to kind of melt the plug into the thing? You use the little Bob Marley tar strips, right? You just kind of plug them in there?
I did use the Bob Marley tar strips, and in cold weather, I did take a torch to it for a second.
Heat it up and let it melt in there. I've got my old truck. I don't know if you remember my blue Silverado that I had.
Did you have it yesterday?
No.
I don't remember it.
But before I got this truck here, I had 4 plugs in one of my tires.
Right.
And the funniest thing, before I moved to North Carolina, because I'm born and raised in Orlando, Florida, I never had a nail in my tire. I moved to North Carolina, every other day I would get a nail in my tire. I don't know what the deal is or what's happening out there. But
it makes me wish it stayed in Florida, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So hopefully, Mike, we'll be okay.
But we do have the Florida man stories.
Yes. So hopefully Mike will be okay driving around with that plug. So you've got an article that you came across. Now, did you put this article up on your Facebook page?
No, I didn't.
No? Well, if you can, do that. Put it up on the Facebook page. And I'll show you how to do it.
For those that can see the IAPF newsletter,
yes,
the last one that came out, it is in there.
Okay, so you can go to their Facebook page.
Seth is one of the board members.
All right, and Seth wrote this article, and what's this article that we're talking about?
It's talking about the debate between farriers and we are all hoof care specialists.
Correct.
And
no matter at what level.
There's a lot of different directions you can go in with it, and there's a lot of reasons for every direction. And then there's the debate, and I've been hit with this a number of times. You should never ever put shoes on a horse, and
so
that's what's destroying the horse. And
so here's my question. Yeah. All right, here's my question. Now I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Right.
Let's say in a perfect world, Mike.
In a perfect
world, the horse's hoof is completely fine.
Right.
But the bone alignment is kind of off a little bit. Can you trim a horse's hoof at an angle to fix the bone column structure?
Like those adult diapers, it depends.
But I mean, because what you're doing with the shoe is you're fixing the taper, the roll off. You're putting wedges in there. You're moving the shoe front and back, and all the other things that goes on with putting a shoe. But technically, if you have a hoof that's completely fine, there's nothing wrong with the hoof. But the bone.
There's a few reasons to shoe or not shoe a horse.
Okay.
Yes.
Step
depending
one.
On the degree of what's going on, and the other end of it is how regular are you getting the horse's hoofs trimmed? Because I run into people who will trim horses at 4 weeks. I've had situations where I'm allowed to work on horses with really distorted feet at short schedules, and you get a hold of it. And then other times they're like, we don't know why you can fix this. We want to go 14 weeks, and you can't get ahead of the mess. And I had a little founder pony not so long ago that convinced the owner. I didn't convince the owner. She was looking up articles. She said, well, maybe we need to shorten up to 4 weeks. And at the end of that run of it, we're doing the whole pony at 3 to 4 weeks. The feet that had been distorted all over the place looked very good, but you were able to get there quick enough that you weren't chasing big distortions every time you went there. So, some of that's up to the owners. Part of the thing you run into with horses that have lost sole mass, sometimes it's awful tough getting that back if you can. Horses that feet have flattened out and don't have a cup in it anymore. Sometimes it's awful tough to get that back if you can. We put a shoe on it to make up for it. But honestly, most of the time when I am shoeing a horse, that's not even what it's for. It's for bone column alignment and what's going on with the body and movement patterns. So, if you got a horse that is collapsed in one shoulder or whatever, we can do things to help with that. And depending on the job of the horse, my personal horse, he's a Mustang, and his feet are not what they were when he came out of Nevada 20 some odd years ago. But, when he was loaned out as a trail riding horse, they said, you're going to have to put shoes on him. And then they went for a 32-mile ride up at Kings Mountain. They said he never took a lame step. And I said, when you make him to the point where I've got to, I will do something, but I don't think you will. Because his hoof mass compared to a domestic horse, he has hoof walls for a 14-hand horse, he has hoof walls thicker than your wife's 17-2 warm blood and a lot heavier foot. And it's maintained on a pretty regular basis, and he's done fine. So why would I want to put a shoe on a horse in that situation? On the other end, one of the things I've been hit with, horseshoes cause old navicular. Well, I've worked on broodmares that had never been anything but a broodmare her whole life. And I would have thought this at one time, but I've done more than one where they wanted to get babies out of the horse. And if a mare's real lame, sometimes it's hard to, they will abort to save the body. So we've ended up doing something to help this broodmare be happier. And they've got a very expensive broodmare, and they want to get babies out of her. And the horse never had a riding career. You got X-rays, and it's showing deterioration, and you've got some navicular issues. And you can't blame that one on the way the horse was ridden. You can't blame that one on the horseshoes, as far as that goes. So, there's so much stuff thrown out around there that is theory, and this is my agenda. And farriers are guilty of that. Trimmers are guilty of that. And there's so much stuff that people have thrown out on social media, so be careful of what you look at. But if a horse can do well, your mare out there, Dominique.
Yeah.
When she had a working career, we were doing what we had to do to try to keep her moving and prolong the working career.
Meaning putting shoes on her and stuff.
We did some shoes. We did some mechanics. As far as basic horseshoeing, I really don't do any. But on any horse, first approach would be, let's get the foot under the bone column. Whether you're trimming or whether you're shoeing, let's get the foot as the bone column alignment as close to where it should be as we can. One problem I have run into at times using helpers, if you see all these videos where somebody's making the bottom of the foot perfectly clean, well, I want to make it because I was watching this video. I was like, no, don't do it on this horse, especially on some of these thoroughbreds. If you are doing that and you've got a horse that your job is, the goal is to keep that horse happy and barefoot as long as possible, sometimes you need to leave some of that callus sole in there. You do need to leave the callus sole in there. Unless they just got an extreme amount, then some of that will flake off anyway. But you got to be conservative enough to leave enough mass there to have the horse something to walk on. Because there are cases where we've got this foot perfectly groomed, perfectly balanced, and all that, and then all of a sudden the horse can't walk. And when I leave there, the horse needs to be able to be okay, shod or unshod. And I've been a farrier a long time. And I've probably, throughout my career, worked on more horses that were barefoot than shod. I know I have, by a fairly substantial number. And I do a lot of horses that are barefoot. Some people, I will never do that. Well, fine, don't. As far as that goes. But I've got clients that are trail riding. I've got clients that have activities at different levels. I've got horses out there that, they hang out. I'm still trimming broodmares.
Before the show we started today, I was telling you about a video that my wife was watching about cows. She's watching cows' hoofs get trimmed and stuff like that. The one video that she was watching, the guy was trimming the left hoof or the left the split hoof, and stuck a block on the right one, to balance out the way a horse or the way the cow moves, and the cow was happy, and so it went on about it.
Sometimes.
But when you do a barefoot horse, is there something like a block or something that you can attach to the foot instead of putting a physical, a classic what we all know as a shoe?
Right, there are some adhesives you can put on, like the fold build type materials, or every company makes something like that.
But if you put that on the horse's foot, is it still considered a barefoot horse? I mean, you're splitting hairs there. I mean, technically
splitting hairs. There are a number of products that are glued. There are a number of products that are nailed. People have come at me, you should never ever nail on a shoe on a horse. Then you start gluing the horseshoe. Well, why are you doing that? Because we got twice as much prep and a huge amount more price and materials.
But can you glue like just a small little wedge without putting a shoe on a horse's hoof? And we don't know if that's considered still being barefoot because you're trying to switch the angle.
We're working with babies and realigning babies. We try to do it without putting anything on the foot. When we need to, use your super fast, your fold build, depending on which company you're talking about, and you build something into the place, and you don't want to force too much. But sometimes when the tendons and ligaments need to be during the time period where we can do something with it, we do. And there again, that's up to the owner. Some of them, if you give them a month or so, some of them are going to straighten themselves out, get them out, get them moving around. But some of them we need to give a little bit of help. And there is something on the foot. I wouldn't say that's completely barefoot, but there's like some of these fiber materials that are glued on. There's different sole build products that you can put on, and to try to prolong putting a shoe on there. But yes, we can build up one side of the foot. We can put an extension on the side of the foot. We can or toe extension, or we can glue something on there temporary to be a heel support if you got a collapsed pastern on a baby. And on adult horses, you can do it too. Now, the question is, if you're planning on that staying on for however many weeks, there's probably a good chance it's not going to if you're only you gluing out one heel or one side of the foot.
Mike, you know a lot of people. You've met a lot of owners. You've
Right.
worked on a lot of horses. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing that the barefoot movement is larger in the farrier world as to the owner world or the rider world? I mean, where are you seeing the people that say, barefoot is better than shoeing? Where are you seeing the most people that believe in that aspect of it?
Well, the horses I've got, the few that are trail riding, all of them are barefoot.
Okay.
And the boots are much better now, as long as the alignment's okay, and it's a pretty good place. And we don't have a pastern collapsing. We don't have a horse that's having any terrible mechanical problems or anything like that. They can go a long ways, and you've got to give them time to condition. The feet. You can condition the feet to where they live. They can adapt to where they live, but you can't adapt to other places where they don't live. So like a horse is always on clay or a horse is always on sand. When you bring some of these horses out of your country up to this part of the world where they're on clay and they've been living on that sand their whole life, they're going to have a tough time for a while.
But I guess what I'm asking is, what group of people are you seeing the most people that believe that horses' feet should be barefoot? Are you seeing it in owners? Are you seeing it in the farrier community? Are you seeing it in the riders community?
The riders.
My horse has to have bare feet.
Well, I hadn't even thought about that too much because I've got plenty of owners that want to keep their horses barefoot, and if we can do that and the horse be happy, I would rather, because I don't need every horse I do be in high maintenance, because you know that at this point it's a performance horse or something therapeutic that I'm shoeing, and because of a problem, and some of those problems have been tried to be addressed by keeping the horse barefoot. We can't always do that.
See, when you explain all this stuff to me, Mike, and like I said,
I'm just running around in circles.
but for the new listeners to the show, I am the simpleton of the show.
Right.
My wife we have several horses here, so I get everything from Mike, and I get all my information from Mike and my wife. And I've learned so much. If you go back to listen to the first episode of season 1, I know absolutely nothing. So what I'm learning now is just basically what you guys have heard during the show. I have no outside experience or anything like that. But when you talk about, and we talked about this, like you said, many times, we talked about the conflict or the conversation between barefoot horse and horses that have shoes. It's more like, I read it as putting in a political landscape right now. It's like,
they try to turn it that way a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the vaxxers against the non-vaxxers. I don't want my kid vaccinated. Your kids have to be vaccinated.
Right.
It's kind of like both ends are right to a certain point.
Sure.
But at what point do you go, okay, you're not doing well by what you're believing in. I don't want my kid to get sick, but yet I want medicine to take care of my kid. I don't want my horse to have shoes on his feet, but at some point I'm going to have to put shoes on his feet or do something. Something.
I've had people walk up to me and tell me that, or wouldn't have me trim their horse because I do put shoes on. And I've had other people that are just fine with it. And I've rolled into people's yards before, and I asked a woman one time, and she was hardcore, her horse were to be barefoot. And I said, fine, well, I know with your history and this, that, and the other thing, I really want you to do it. I said, okay. I said, but understand, I am a farrier. I work with metal. I do glues. I do a lot of stuff.
The whole thing.
Right. So then I roll in there and I asked her, I said, what's the problem? Oh, I figure you just use all the equipment for stuff that you needed. At one time I had a little Ranger truck that I ran around to do such stuff as that, but I would always get halfway across 2 counties and then somebody around the corner needed something and I didn't have it with me and had to backtrack. And I was like, you know what? I'm just running a full rig, whether I'm trimming or not, because I always got stuff. And I've done farm repairs on stuff for people that we barefooted horses, repaired broken hinges and stuff like that off the back of the truck, and it was there, and I could weld something up or whatever for them. But that's down another weird rabbit trail. But I don't have any problem with it. And I've had people I bet someone like you thinks a horse should never go barefoot. Well, the bulk of my clients are barefoot, and I prefer it that way. I only the ones that I'm putting shoes on, for whatever reason, we need to be able to make the situation better for the horse. If you're just strictly putting shoes on feet, but I've had people want, well, my horse's feet aren't as pretty when they don't have shoes on. I want shoes because of the way they look. Well, that's not a good reason. Sometimes my horse is a little tender-footed, so I want to put shoes on the horse. Sometimes they need time to toughen up to it. And depending on the lifestyle. On the other end, I had someone approach me one time that was an event rider, and they've been reading these articles, and they want to go pull up there. I want to go completely natural, all this sort of deal. Okay, fine. I got no problem. That's the way trail you want to go down. We can go down that trail. When's your next event? Well, we're going to do the horse. We got like a week and a half to the next event. I said, so you're planning on canceling? She said, do what? I said, so you're planning on not going to that event? Oh, no. We're going, but I want you to pull the shoes off and make this horse barefoot. And this is a thoroughbred with a light foot on it. I said, this horse is not going to make that event. And I said, besides, you know, if you're hitting cross country at that level, I said, you're going to lose your studs. Oh, no. I don't care what you do. I'm keeping my studs. And I said, that's fine. But if you want to try it, you're probably not going to make that event if you want to try it at this point. And I said, the other issue I'm running into, if you want to be able to have changeable studs, I said, that's going to get to be a bloody mess. It's just, why is that? I said, because I think I can drill the first hole in the horse's foot. I don't think the horse will let me thread it. But when that drill bit comes out of the coronary band, you're going to be really mad with me, and your horse is going to be really upset. But I don't think I'll get more than one hole done. She's like, do what? I said, you got to have something to screw the studs into. So, you know, oh, my God, I would never do that. I said, well, if you decide you want to go that route and you're through with your competition season, then we can address that if you want to go in that direction. But you're considering your horse is a thoroughbred, you may be taking, it might take a year. It might take 6 months.
Don't change it right before the show.
Right. And well, how long is it going to take? I said, it's up to the horse. Had one person here not too long ago, they got a little upset with me. They wanted shoes off their horse. Fine. Is my horse going to be sore? Yes. How long? For a while. A week later, they were mad. My horse is still sore. I'm like, yeah.
What you should say, Mike, is it'll be upset or sore for a while.
Okay.
You know, that we can drag it out.
On the other end, I've had horses that we had something on the horse for a particular reason. It's let down time. It's whatever. We take the shoes off, and they go off, and they're plenty fine and happy, and no problem. And then we get, because of what they're doing competition-wise, if we need to do something, we do. And, you know, as far as that goes. And it depends on the horse. Thoroughbreds are harder to get barefoot. I have shot horses temporarily because they had absolutely no mass. And once we developed some mass, then we pulled it off and we got the horse through okay, where they've been working on the horse trying to lay down in the field on them because it was too painful. So it's just every situation is different. And there's really no reason for people who trim, if they're doing a good job, to be upset with farriers that are doing a good job. And there are so many horses out there that are barefoot. There's plenty of work. It's not for lack of work. The problem you get into is if somebody's trying to push you to shoe every horse, you got to step back and think about that. And when you're dealing with problems on the other end of it, where we are not going to put anything on this horse at all. And sometimes some of those horses can get in trouble. But if you're going the barefoot route and you've got problems, you need to short cycle what you're doing on the horse's feet. Sometimes a spit and a brush is a good day with it because you got to keep enough mass there the horse can be okay.
All right, guys, we're going to take one more little quick break and let you take one more little quick break and come back and let you, what do I say all the time? I forget. We're going to take one more little quick break, and then we'll let you get back to playing with your pony. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back.
Am I confusing you?
No.
Did I ramble on too much?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You know I'm good at rambling.
Yes, you are. Like Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
You're a rambling man.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, ramble on. Ramble on.
I thought it was Led Zeppelin.
Now the time is on, sing my song. I got a lot of scenery on my name, on my way. I've been this way 10 years to the day. I've been rambling on. You know that song?
Not the way you sing it.
Leaves are falling all around. Time I was on my way.
Right.
You don't care.
I'll act like I do. How's that?
Just nod and wave, right? Well, smile and wave or no whatever. Yeah.
I've got the parade.
There you go. Yeah. Unscrewing the light bulb. That's what you're doing. Unscrewing the light bulb. All right. Here we go. Short segment. Wrap it up. Got it? Got it? Good. You're not answering.
Yes, we got it.
Okay.
Yes, we got it. Yes, we got it. I'm making up.
Fuck us. Here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. Don't forget, you can join the podcast. The way you do that is go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says join the podcast. This is episode 11 from season 14. We got one more show left, which is next week, and then we're going to take a couple of weeks off, come back on May 9th, or not May 9th, February 9th, and start season 15. So you're going to have a couple of weeks off from us. Get a little break. You can get caught up on all the shows, and the way you do that is go to equinedynamics.com. On that join the podcast page, you're going to see all the past episodes and everything, and that's where you can leave a voice message, and it comes right to our inbox, and we'll play your voice. Oh, God. If I don't die here, on season 15, we'll play your voice, your questions and stuff on the air alongside of us, and make sure you follow Mike Stine over on YouTube. You can see the full-length podcast. Jesus, Mike, I am out of control. The internet has messed me up completely.
It has. You're not getting a good connection there.
I'm not. I'm totally offline here. But you can go to YouTube, search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine over on YouTube, and you can see the full-length podcast and all the stuff that goes on here during the show. And over to my far end side, my very own online specialist is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good, Travis. How are you?
Barely getting through this.
You're not making it.
I'm
real
not.
Good.
I'm totally offline right now.
You may have to be put down.
Put my barefoot into the ground, right?
Right.
All right, Mike, what did we learn on today's show?
What did we learn?
Talking terminology. We were talking about the radiolucent. What do we mean by radiolucent?
Radiolucent is, on your X-ray would be the darker areas where the X-ray is, or when you shoot your.
It's a ghostly background.
Ghostly background. Yes. So it would, the part that's blocked out would be whiter. The part that's dark, everything is passing through.
So radiolucent describes the material that is transparent to the X-rays,
right,
such as air, soft tissue, and fat, which appears darker or in black images. And the reverse of that is what we talked about last week, or the few weeks back, was radio opaque,
right,
which is the white stuff. Basically,
what would you look like on an X-ray?
What's that?
What would you look like on an X-ray?
I don't know, hollow and dark. I don't know. Which is the white, like the bones and the nails and the horseshoe itself. That's right, radio opaque, and then we're talking about radiolucent. Also, the X-rays from a deformed foot that Mike got called in on, and I'm gonna switch over. Let me pull the picture up here. I'm gonna switch over to camera 6.
That one was a good one to talk about because
here it is, right here.
This was a horse that was kept barefoot, and
kept barefoot, but not in training.
Not in training. We're just existing, and I've got horses that are in training that are barefoot and do fine, depending on the job, right?
Right.
And depending on the horse, all of them are a little different. But because of the situation, we were just kind of getting these feet under control and trying to keep this old guy happy. And
how long ago was this?
This was probably a couple of years ago.
Okay. And have you got an update or anything on this at all?
I only saw this horse the one time in the vet clinic.
Okay.
And I think the deal was, the best I can remember, is they got somebody to look at the horse's feet, and they kind of went, so they got a hold of the clinic and brought him in there, and we worked on him in the clinic together.
But you don't know the end game of this?
I do not.
Okay. And also, the discussion, the debate, the conversation of the pros and cons between barefoot horses versus shoed horses or shod horses. So what do we determine?
We determined that we are all hoof care professionals.
Okay.
And for those who have not approached the barefoot angles, which I've done with several different groups, a lot of them have different ideas and different layouts and different whatever on how to get to point A. But farriers can learn from that, and they should. On the other end, some of the trimmers should look at what's going on with some of the therapeutic work and some of the performance work, because there's something they can learn there too. We're all hoof care professionals. There's plenty of work out there. There's no sense in button heads. As far as horse owners, you've got to decide with your professionals what is right for you, and what your horses can or cannot do and what you're willing to do or not do.
On a side note, Mike, in the sporting world, you know, your eventers, your 3A eventers, your cross country, your track stars, dressage, 100 jumpers, all that. Do you see most of those communities having barefoot horses, or do they always have shoes on? And the second part of my question, my observation is, like when horses are in fairs or in parades and stuff, don't they physically have to put something on their feet to protect them on the concrete and everything, like the Amish do?
The first part, as I have horses at different levels that will do a cross-country course barefoot, you know.
But they've been prepared.
But they've been prepared, and they've been working on it and all that. And they do okay for where they're doing, right? I have situations where some of those horses will put some metal on because of the course they're going on. Because I do have event horses that are able to handle a lot without shoes on. The customer wants to go that way as much as possible. And part of it is an expense thing. On the parades, I have, in some years past, I did a few movie horses, a couple here and there. Not a lot, but they did a chase scene where a horse was coming down the sidewalk and made a corner. And I think the name of the shoe is an Olivet, but it was a rubber shoe with a steel plate in it we put on. And the guy said it gripped like the horses in tennis shoes, because I'm like, you're going to do what? Well, it's got to go down beside this building and make a 90-degree turn on the sidewalk at a gallop. And I'm like, well, all righty then. You know, and they did. But, you know, some of the draft horses where they're on, like down in Charleston, where they're on the cobblestone and the brick roads and all that, they don't want to tear up the roads. They have a plate that goes on the foot, and they have big rubber boots that they set onto that and attach to the plate so they don't damage those old roads. Amish guys use borium on their driving horses to give them some grip on the asphalt, and you got to be careful with how much and know how to do it correctly, because you can create problems with too much traction. Horses go in parades barefoot. If you got a basic steel shoe on, they're probably safer on the asphalt with a bare foot on, as long as your horse can handle doing it okay.
What about, and this might be way off topics, you know how they say on a hot summer day you don't want to walk your dog on the concrete because of the pads of the dog's feet might burn, you know, that the concrete's too hot. Would that apply to horses on a hot summer day? Yeah,
actually it does. And there was a situation at NC State years ago when Dr. Mansman, I was working with him, where somebody brought an infrared unit to try out at the university. And a horse was out on the asphalt. It was about 80 degrees, blacktop. And they brought the horse in, and this was kind of set up a little bit because of a discussion that Doc and myself had, and I have had experience with infrared in past jobs. And there were some problems at times with the infrared because of environment. So the horse was kept outside a little while, and they brought it in. First thing the person did when they did the first infrared, oh my God, this horse is foundered in all 4 feet. And it's like, Doc's like, wait a minute, you got to start treating this horse now. It's because all 4 feet showed up red. So they put the horse in the stall, brought it back an hour or so later, and guess what? Everything calmed down. So there will be, you know, if the roads are hot, the feet are on it, that's probably not the best thing for a horse. And if you have a steel shoe on the foot, it picks the foot up a little bit, but guess what? That road's still hot, and it will heat up. So I don't know how you deal with that on a really, really hot day where you can't walk on a barefoot. Maybe you should be putting your horse on asphalt those days.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to the show, downloading us, and sharing with all your friends. We have one more show left in season 14, so go over right now. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. You can follow us over on YouTube. Search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine over on YouTube. You can see the full-length podcast over there. It's in its entirety, and the behind-the-scenes stuff as we're recording the show, and me throwing stuff at the TV and the monitors and stuff here. And make sure you follow Mike Stine over on Facebook, and I'm going to show him how to post these pictures and stuff over on Facebook. Search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine. He's got 2 pages. He's got a personal and a business. If he posts on one, it will be on the other one as well. And if you'd like to email Mike Stine at any time, go to equinedynamicsmike.com and email Mike for any kind of clinics or events you'd like us to come out and perform this podcast out at your location. What were you going to say, Mike?
I've also still got some borium tip nails in the truck. They call them dirt track nails. I don't know if they're still making those things. But when I was doing some horses that were used for police work and search and rescue, they had me doing the Duratrax on there because they were on asphalt some, and they didn't want the horse slipping.
All right, guys, on that note, on behalf of Mike Stine over there,
Have a good day. Enjoy your ponies.
my name is Travis, saying see you next week.
Don't get any flat tires.
Dream of someone.
There you go.
Hi, Lucky.
Good night, Ned.
Hi, Dusty.
Good night, Ned.